Hey everybody, it's tough. We are just trucking right along here. Let me see if I can focus this. We are going to be cutting this guy today. We got to make room for the cup right here. If you buy a kit from me, you'll get this cutting template. Obviously, if I just do a mod for you, then this will already be done. But the idea is we put this template here in the space. You can get the light on it, you can see. And we need to cut this circle and this notch. So I don't cut this in here. I kind of hold this here till it looks correct, because there's a little bit of play up and down, left and right, because this lip along the edge is not so deep that this just doesn't move. It does still move, but regardless, just hold it there and get it as centered as you can. Focus that. That's okay. And then I just use a sharp pencil and then just draw. Get it? No, my pencil's sharp enough, but you get the idea. I might draw that line off camera. It's hard for me to hold this and do that at the same time. Let me hold it down here and really bear down and get that line. I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, that's a lot better. You can see it there. I'm sure I'm happy with that. I think I said a sharp pencil. I don't think my pencil's sharp enough. That's funny, but it's not funny. Anyways, you get the idea. That's what you're trying to accomplish. It really needs to be as even as possible. You want that an equal amount of material. Yeah, my pencils aren't sharper. If my angle wasn't right, I'm gonna try that again. Just get the angle right on this. I might need to go sharpen this pencil. Looks better. So this, all of that up there looks good, and it's really just right here that I'm gonna have to be kind of mindful that I'm gonna need to go a little bit farther out with the Dremel. And you can see on the back side here that kind of what that's gonna do. You're gonna be cutting into here. That's fine. Anyways, that's how that goes. And I'll do some kind of cut and edit here and montage the actual. Alright, we're cutting here now. So an old Dremel, any rotary tool will work. You could even do this by hand with sandpaper if you wanted to, or a small coping saw. I've done it with a coping saw before. It works, but this is way easier. Even a power drill with a sanding drum would work great here. Just go slow and make sure you stay on the inside of the line. This right here, I'm going to use a different tool. I'll just do some of this cutting here on camera so you get a feel for the speed and how careful you need to be, and then I'll probably finish it up without the camera so I can get my face close to it and see what I'm doing, so I'm not having to cut this to the preview. I don't want to ruin this because this is the factory thing. I like to be really, really careful when I cut these because there's no going back. So just, I'm probably not going to be able to talk over this. This is loud, and I know the camera mic's going to compress it, but we'll see. About this fast. About that fast. So you get it up to speed, and you see I've kind of removed that much right there. You want to work it, since you're cutting a circle, you want to work it in circular motions, because if you just kind of work one spot as opposed to doing swipes, you're going to work that spot down. And I've done that before, and then you get into this situation where you've got one spot that's lower or has had more cutaway than the other spots, and you kind of have to avoid it, and then you forget, or you run back over on accident, and you got this weird like indentation that you don't want. So get the bit spinning fast, and then do light swipes in a circle. So do a few, and then kind of turn it in your hand, and then do a few on the other side, and that way it's cut away more or less evenly. You know, you're doing this by hand, so it's not going to be absolutely perfect. If you had a drill press and you could figure out how to orient and secure this part properly with the right bit, that'd be ideal, but I don't have that, and I'm going to guess most of you don't have that either. So doing this by hand is kind of where we're at. And anyways, this gets hidden by a plate anyways, so it doesn't need to be that absolutely flipping perfect, but just get it. Do your due diligence. Wow, a lot of do's. Do your due diligence to make sure that even though it's by hand, you got it as clean as possible. So I'll do a few more here for you, and then in the next video, when we're kind of assembling things back together, you'll see how this kind of looks finished product. So. I kind of slipped there a little bit. It's all right. The bit came out and it hit that. I can buff that out. It's just plastic. Anyways, that gives you an idea of what you're doing. I'm gonna do the rest of this off camera without looking through the preview, so I don't mess up this guy's Orbweaver. And but that gives you an idea of how you should be doing this. Get your face close so you can see what you're doing. Get your elbows secured on the table so you're steady. And just take your time. You've only got one of these unless you buy a few orbs, and they're expensive, so don't. And yeah, you should be good. Hope this works out for y'all. Catch you later. All right, that's all cut. That's roughly what it should look like. The idea here is once you have this constructed, which I'll link to the video where I build this whole stick wired to the TNC thing. That's in the Tartarus series, and it's 100% applicable and identical to this. But you get that to fit in there such that the wiring comes up like that, and there will be a assembly video coming soon where we go over how to do all of this. But these will, from the D-pad, you know, these will go in there, and then all of this will sit That will now go out. And all of this will sit like this. With the enclosure over here. And the thumb sled down here. I think it'll look good. That's all next is the assembly. There'll be some soldering we'll need to do. So the PCB, the factory DPAD PCB that screws in right here, this plate underneath here, we'll have to solder the sled to, and the DPAD wires that come through, we'll need to solder those as well. But yeah, that's all pretty straightforward. Anyways, if you've gotten to this point, congrats. It's not fun cutting your expensive gamepad, but hopefully you'll have done it painlessly. And yeah, catch y'all later.